Boxing King Media in association with Boxer. Delighted to be joined by Peter Fury. A huge statement from your protege, Savannah Marshall, coming from a first career loss straight into an undisputed fight. When did you make that decision, and why is it the right decision?
It's the right decision because that was the only fight that was available. Franch and Cruz wanted it, Savannah wanted it, so we're here. So yeah, it's a good fight for all the belts, super middle, so it's a perfect fight, and a top fight as well, so we're very happy with it.
A lot of fighters take warm-up fights in between losses. Savannah's not doing that. She's going up against another elite level fighter.
Why do they need warm-up fights? You know, Savannah's had boxing, she was 8 or 9 years of age. She's fought at top levels, and she's at the top level. So main thing is to get this fight out of the way, God willing, get the job done, get the belts, and hopefully we can negotiate with the teams, the management teams can negotiate with Clarissa's team again and get it on.
How much of a harder fight is this compared to Clarissa? You know, what sort of level do you class Cruz at?
I think the fights are just similarly as hard as each other because they're different styles. You know, Cruz brings, she's aggressive, she can fight, she's rough, you know, so it's a good fight.
The weight, is that going to be an issue, putting an extra 10 pounds on?
Not for Savannah, no. She's 6 foot, she's over 6 foot in the air, so she's it's perfect for her actually. She does super middle better than middleweight.
I just want to get your opinion on the chief, the main event. Eubank Jr. has taken the rematch with Liam Smith. Do you think, as an outsider watching in, the distraction of the potential Conor Benn fight falling through could work against him, or do you think that doesn't matter at this level?
Not at this level. I think it's good that Eubank is coming back into this fight. You know, it shows that he will fight anybody, and you know, props to him, because a lot of fighters, once they get beat, they skate around the houses. They don't want to know and want some easy touches back, but he's not doing that. He's going straight in the deep end, and that needs respecting.
Do you think he'll be able to change the conclusive ending to the last fight around if he's still with the same team?
Well, look, you know, they know their own ways. I'm sure this job's all about correcting your mistakes. If he can correct his mistakes, you know, it should be a different fight for him. He obviously believes in himself and believes he knows where he's gone wrong. So him and his team will look to correct it.
I just want to get an update on your son Huey. What is the latest with Huey? When can we expect to see him back?
Hopefully he's on this undercard on the 17th of June or early July. So on a standalone show somewhere else. So either way, he's boxing. So either on this card or the one straight after it, and sometime in early July.
I just want to get your opinion, Peter, on we've seen Billy Nelson come out recently talking about Martin Bakoli's sparring with USYK, saying, you know, he stopped USYK in sparring, gave Joyce trouble, gave Joshua trouble, and we've seen Ryan Garcia the weekend saying he had a spy in the camp. What do you make of that sort of stuff going on in boxing in general, people talking about sparring?
Look, it's everybody to their own. You know, look, I think with Big Martin Bakoli and Billy Nelson, they feel like they're not getting that far, and he gets like shunned and ignored and stuff. So I can understand them trying to gain some publicity there and get the foot in the door and get fights. But I think now they're here with boxing and stuff, I think, I think the fights will start coming for Big Martin. And Big Martin can fight as well.
Definitely so. And this mega event that the Saudis are potentially planning to hold in December, first of all, how exciting is that for you as a fan of heavyweight boxing if we get AJ Wilder, Fury versus USYK on the same night?
I think it's all good for boxing. You know, to see these big fights, and they're all getting it on. So it'll be a great night for boxing.
People are suggesting AJ's not having that fight, in interim fight anymore, because of the potential risk of not looking good or potentially losing, which could cost him that fight. But from what you saw in his last fight, what did you make of that, and what would you advise him to do in preparation for Deontay Wilder if you was in his corner?
You know, well, first of all, I'm not in his corner. Secondly, I still haven't watched his fight. So I can't really comment on it. Look, everybody does their own thing, but you're only as good as your last fight. You could be a world beater and have a stinker and you shit. So that's what it is. That's boxing.
Pete, I always get people messaging me saying that they love listening to you. You come out with some good cold facts. You're obviously a deeply religious man, proud of your values that you brought up with. So for the youth of today, the people that are a bit lost in this world where we're getting fed all sorts of bullshit, have you got an inspirational speech for them that I can end this on?
What do you want me to say? You know, a boy's a boy and a girl's a girl. What more to be said? And when they get 18 and when they're old enough to have their own mind, and they decide which way they want to go. It's a free world we live in, and everybody needs respect. We can't judge anybody, but what I can say is we can definitely judge children, and children need protecting. That's why they got parents, and proper parents protect their children. Don't mess with a child's mind. That's all I'm going to say, and it's wrong. Anything you do to a child, you are a fucking pervert, and you want fucking hanging from that post when you mess with children. Don't mess with kids, because you're wrong in yourself when you do that. So that's my view on it. Strong view, and it's my opinion. So I'm entitled to it, and I'm going to say what I believe in. Don't mess with children, because children's the closest thing to the blessed Lord. They're pure. So don't take their minds for some stupid adult behaviour.
Peter Fury, respect your opinion, and thank you.
You're welcome.